Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Martial Arts of Selling weekly sales training video. This is one of my best cold calls that I've made in a long time. It's actually longer than I usually get on a call. It's about 40-minute plus, but I promise you, there's a lot of meat on that bone. There's a lot of valuable information. I go through my full selling presentation from the opening of the call to the body of the call to the closing of the call. What I want you to pay attention to is how I transition from the opening of the call, which is the most important. It's I'm setting the tone for the rest of the phone call, how I earn value, how I give value, how I earn respect, and how I build trust with the prospect. Then I transition to the body of the call. This is where I start to tell a story, why he needs my services and how it's going to benefit him by asking questions, dealing with his objections and his concerns and his buying questions and telling a story on how this is going to help his business and why he needs what I'm offering. I just have to get him to want it. It's a remodeling company. And then I transition from the body of the call, which is the storytelling. I transition to the closing of the call. In the closing of the call, you're going to notice that he's sold. He wants to do it. He talks about his partners that are involved, but that if they don't want to do it, he's still going to do it. So I set up a follow up call for that very same day to close the deal. So I want you to see the whole video. It's a longer video than I usually record, but it's very valuable. I didn't want to edit anything out of it. I think all of it is important because it shows everything on how I go about cold calling and closing a deal. So if you're watching this on my channel, do me a favor, smash that like button, share your comments because it does help the algorithm, which gives it more exposure for other people to watch the video, and hit the subscription button below so that you can follow up on some other videos that are coming to you. Now, for the introduction. Roberto, it's Paul Cruz. How you doing, sir?
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
How's your morning going?
Just, I mean, today I just got a little bit of work. I just got an inspection, but
Oh, okay.
we're back already from our cloud rebuild system.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I just want to follow. I'm not trying to be a pain, but I would like to, earn your business and potentially build a profitable relationship. And I want to be able to share with you, how I could be of value to you. And if you see the value, you see I could be an asset to your business. Then maybe we could do business. If not, I thank you for the opportunity, and we could part ways as friends. But that's what I'm looking to do. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So do you have a few seconds? I just want to ask you a few more questions about, your business, the type of customers you have, and what you would like to see in the next 12 months. And, I'm looking to build a relationship, whether it's today or the next 6 months, because at the end, without good relationship, you don't really have a business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Okay. So now you have American Made Roofing, right? That's your company, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how long have you been in the remodeling or the roofing? You just do roofing or you do full remodeling like kitchen, bathroom? Oh, roofing and solar? Okay. And do you handle mostly residential or do you handle commercials as well?
Mostly residential.
Mostly residential? Okay. And do you go to Las Cruces or you just stay locally here in El Paso?
Just here in El Paso.
No Paso. Okay. And what would you like to see in the next 12 months? I mean, can you take on more projects, or are you so backed up that you can't? Or what are you looking to do if you could?
It's always dependent on certain and insurance coverages, but um, we, I mean, we're looking to get into also just more sales from the solar roofing. So that
Okay.
we manage.
Okay. So when you sell solar, are you an independent contractor for a solar company, or you actually buy the solars and then you retail them?
The dealer.
Independent dealer? Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
Uh, just as long as the roofing, at least 4 years now.
4 years now? Okay. And how's the sales of solar going for you?
Um, kind of slowed down, I guess, because some people just don't trust it anymore because of all the issues.
Right,
You know,
right,
sales guys.
right. Do,
It's not.
do you have salespeople that work for you right now?
I have one other guy that we're just partners, and yeah, we do.
You both do it? Okay. So you would like to see more solar panels, so because that way you don't need somebody to do a roofing job, or for weather, you can actually call people at any time. You just got to be able to persuade them why they will need a solar panel, right? Is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
basically replacement
Right. Right.
of
Okay.
electric.
I
So
got you. I got you. And how many of those would you like to see? Well, let me ask you this. How many bids do you usually put every month for roofing contracts? How many of them do you usually do?
per month,
Yes.
uh,
4 to 5. And how many of those bids do you usually win?
at least three. I mean, mostly I.
Okay, because they usually call you that they need a roofing. Is that what it is?
So use Google.
Right? Okay.
So this is basically like their licensing research on me and background
Right.
checks and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah, I do Google ads. I understand how that works. Okay, so that's good. So would you like to see more roofing jobs, or would you like to see more solar panel jobs?
Uh,
Okay.
was a lot of solar and we get denied. Some reasons, for reasons. It's usually the reason we're there. If you issues,
Right.
insurance companies um, you know,
Right.
provide
Right. The coverage. Right.
yeah,
Right. Okay. So usually it's the insurance companies that put a wrench in your kit, right? Right. Okay. 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 Now, one final question. When you do bids for roofing, right? What is your average bid price? In other words, when you get a contract for your roofing, right? Because I have a strategy where most of my clients don't have to bid. They usually get the jobs because I pre-sell a lot of the prospects for my clients. You know what I mean? So, what is your average roofing contract pay you? Just ballpark.
Uh, so we try to do. Are you talking about what I net or the
No, just the
gross?
gross. I don't need the net, just the gross. Like if you get a contract, it's usually X amount of dollars. What is usually that amount? Just average.
Like 10 to 15,000.
Okay, 10 to 15,000. Okay, and what about the solar? Is there minimum price for solar, or it depends on the square footage of the roof?
It depends on the usage, the wattage.
Okay, the wattage. Okay, so what is your average price for the solar?
So we do about $5 per watt.
Okay,
And that includes the setups usually about 350,
okay,
$3.50 per watt.
okay,
So we try to make $1.50
okay.
for me and my partner, and
Right.
so most systems are
Okay.
60,000.
About 60,000.
Yeah,
Okay, and I'm assuming most of your target audience is high income people, correct?
yeah. We try to do families, big families, especially with solar. They have the highest, electric bills,
Right, right,
consumption.
right. Okay. And so let me ask you this. If I'm able to bring you, and I'm gonna do a hypothetical, okay, if I could bring you 10 qualified people that will like solar panels, right? And let's say the average is 60,000. If I brought you 10 of them and you go to the appointment, how many of those you think you can convert into an actual customer realistically?
It's two of them.
At least two. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, most people that are doing it kind of know that they want to
Right.
see the numbers and then they get scared away.
Right. Right. Okay.
And then also, on the credit, they don't have to necessarily have great credit.
Right. Okay. So you finance it as well, or do you have a process with solar that finances it as well?
Yeah, they will finance it.
Okay. Okay. And the reason why I'm asking is this, because I have some clients that are in the solar business. I understand how it works. One of the things that I specialize in, Roberto, is I know how to target my audience that I know that need my services. I just have to get them to want it. Like I targeted you, we're connected on a lineable. I called you a couple of times, you were on a job, but I know by your industry what I could do for you and how I can help you increase your revenue, increase your profit margin without all the additional expenses that it usually takes if you want to grow your roofing business. And I've been doing this a long time. So I deal with construction companies, real estate companies, janitorial companies, digital marketing. So one of the things that I do, anything that has to do with bid that you're very competitive, I'm able to go in there and get my clients more contracts and more sales. So if you're able to close two solar roofing jobs at $60,000 each, that's $120,000 in new business for just two clients. Does that make sense? If
Yes.
if you know you can get an extra or produce an extra $120,000 in contracts, right? What would you be willing to invest in your business if you know you could do that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You would invest money, right? Because if I know ADS, if I put out like when I hire people, if I pay them $1, I know that I'm gonna get at least $2 back. So I keep doing it, right? So if I could put you in a position to get, let's say, one contract a month for solar, just I'm talking about just solar. The roofing is different. If I could put you in a position where you can get one contract a month at a minimum of $60,000, would that be something of value to you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we do 60, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I like to do low numbers because if I do high numbers and what I could really do, not that it won't be believable, is that I want to make sure that the other party could do their part. So I could bring you people that are ready to buy, but you may go there and blow the deal because they may not like you or they may, it's about chemistry, right? It's about setting the tone with people. Does that make sense? So here's what, let me see. So if you could do, all right, let's see. So it's got, if you do one contract a month at 60,000, which is what you average, times 12. So you're looking at about $720,000 in new business. That's what we could potentially do if you were to, hire me and give me a shot at your business. And I'm being conservative on that because I know that if, like, for example, I have a real estate client, right? And I deal with a lot of for sale by owners, and I also work with banks. So when I set up appointments for my real estate agent, what happens is when they go do a walkthrough on the initial meeting, most people wind up not getting a contract, right? And so they waste a lot of time, money, and energy. I don't believe in doing that. I believe in getting everything up front. And then when I go meet with them, I'm getting a contract. So what I do is, let's say you were to hire me and I would call XYZ person and I would go through the pitch with them and I would tell them, okay, I'm going to have Roberto go there. This is going to happen. We would love to earn your business. If you like everything and you like Roberto, can you see yourself moving forward? They say yes. So now I got them committed. So I would call you back and say, Roberto, you're going to meet John Doe. He's ready to do this. He just needs to ask you a couple questions that I can't answer. But once you go there, he's ready to sign a contract. So now when you go there, you're not wasting time walking through it, doing a bid, and you don't know if you're going to get it or not. So that's going to give you an opportunity to close more deals effectively So for my real estate agents, when they go do 5 walkthroughs to meet with the seller, they usually come out with 3 contracts that same day. Now that's good because you want to get a listing when you're an agent, right? Because now you have an opportunity to get more buyers. Does that make sense?
And so, what would you like? You have your own listing things,
Well,
or
here's what happens. Let me just give you a background. I've been a venture capitalist for 30 years plus. I'm a money raiser. I've been raising money for a long time, and I've done a lot of real estate deals. I deal with a lot of businesses. So what I do is I target market. So I cold call every single day. So I get a list. For example, I got almost 1,000 followers on Instagram, right? I don't promote. I don't advertise. I call the followers and I got 20 clients from Instagram. I got 3 clients from the Atwood Connected Alignable. So what I do is I target the people and the businesses that I know I can help, like you, right? So what if you tell me, okay, this is what I'm looking for, this is why I ask you this question, then what I do is I start to target home people, residents. I know how to get access to residents where I can contact these people and get them, for an appointment. So let's say I talk for sale by owner. And what happens is when I talk to them, I start to talk to them about soul. I said, listen, have you considered this? This may add more value to your property. You may be able to sell it for more. When you add certain things to a house, depending on what you add, it could add more value, more equity to the house, right? So that's a strategy. So what I do is I target certain area. Let's say you want a certain zip code, right? Because there are a lot of high-end property. I would target that area and I would get you qualified appointments to go meet with them so that you can close the deal, right? Now, let's say, for example, there's one person that really wants to buy, but you're right there to get a contract, but they're not pulling the trigger with you, right? But they're right there. So what I would do is I would call them back. I said, listen, this is Paul Cruz. You met with Roberto. I need to know what's going on. Why you're not pulling the trigger? You told me you wanted to do this. It's because I build a relationship with them. They may wind up doing the deal. So you may wind up getting the contract. So we don't lose that lead because if you say, Paul, I want you to close these deals for me, then what I would do is I would charge you a percent of the contract, right? Or you could pay me a fee on that one as well. So I would get paid up front for my services. So I could, target the leads, have my salespeople call and set all that up for you so that you could get appointments, right? For what you want. But at the end, after a certain trial, if you say, Paul, I want you to close these deals, so I just want to do the work, then we can negotiate that as well. But at the end, when I target somebody, we have a higher engagement ratio, but more importantly, we have a higher conversion ratio. So, for example, for you in the solar, if I was to get you 5 qualified leads, I would say on the initial appointment, we will probably close about 3 of them, right? So that's 3 out of 5, that's 60%, right? But the other two could be a good pipeline where they may just need a month, they just may need a little more persuasion, they may just not be ready to buy. But you could keep those leads, and I call those second chance leads, where let's say 3 months later, I may call and say, listen, have you thought about it? What's going on? So at the end of the day is I'm all about relationships. So it's not how many leads you get or how many people you speak with, is the quality of the people you choose to speak with. Does that make sense?
of course,
Yeah. So that's what I do. Huh?
so you get the job for
No,
say with
no,
finance,
no.
project.
I get paid up front. So for example, let's say you wanted to hire me, right? There's 3 ways I offer. I have like 5 different services, but the 3 ones that I offer every entrepreneur is this. Number one is I can teach the owners like yourself how to close more deals and how to target better leads that you can close more deals. So you get to learn how to be a better closer. That's number one. Number two is if you have salespeople, I can build a selling process through my strategy to help your salespeople become more effective, right? That's number two. Number three is you can hire me in my company, right? Well, I do the sales for you. I get the lead. I set up everything. All you have to do is go to the appointment and close the deals. That will be your job. So I take a lot of time off you so that you could just do what you're good at, right? So what will happen is if you hire me, usually people do this. They hire me first, they see what I could do, and then what happens is we wind up going into a longer contract where I build a sales team for them or I help the owners how to sell. So it depends on what the owner will want to do, right? But if you were to hire me to say, okay, Paul, I'm going to give you a shot. I want you to give me some leads. Let's see how it works. And then if it's working, then we'll continue to move forward, right? So what would happen is you would pay me a fee up front, right, for X amount of dollars. And it'll be, usually I do 90 days minimum, but I'm willing to start with 30 and then we could renegotiate after that. Why? Because I know that when you get your first contract in the first month, you're already going to make your principal back. You're probably going to make 5 times that. You see what I'm saying? Because I want to make it easy because I know what my strategy does. And for example, from alignable, last week, I closed 2 people in real estate in 12, 13 minutes of a conversation because I knew exactly what I was talking about and they've been looking for something like that. So what it would be is this. So the minimum would be $3,500. That's a one-time fee for 1 month, right? And what's going to happen is you're going to get at least 5 qualified appointments minimum for that month. Minimum. Okay. Now, what's going to happen is when you get those appointments, the only thing I can't do for you is go meet with them and do that because I'm not licensed to do that and I don't know anything about that, right? However, when you go there, you're going to know who they are, how interested they are, what they're willing to do. I'm going to find out if they could afford it, if they need financing. You're going to know, like a doctor looks at a chart, right? I'm the nurse. I'm going to do a outline of everything that they told me. I'll say, Roberto, this person's ready to buy. Here's their finances. Here's what they can do. They can do a credit card. They can do high financing. So you're going to know when you go into them how you're going to deal with them. And that's going to give you an advantage because now they already told you everything you need to know. So when you go there, you're more armed to closing that deal. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you basically will trade leads, but they're not a guaranteed close. And then also, you might get commission off of the.
No, I don't get no commission off nothing. What I usually do is this. I like to earn a lot of your business. And the way I earn it is this. If you were to hire me for 1 month, right? And I got you 5 qualified leads, and let's say you close 3 of them at $60,000 each. That's $180,000 in new business for $3,500 investment. Now we can come back and say, okay, you know what? I would like a 1 year consulting agreement, sales agreement, right? For X amount of dollars a month. So I would say, listen, now what I would like to do is this. I would like a commitment of 1 year. So every month you pay me X amount of dollars every month, or we can negotiate where you pay me X amount of dollars a month, and then on every deal that closes, you could either pay me a percent of the back end or a price. So, for example, let's say you got 3 contracts the first month, you want to move forward with me, and my actual fee is about 5 grand because I'm valuable, I know how to do it, and I produce results. But I have to earn that, right? So let's say my monthly fee after the first month is 5 grand, right? So now you know what I could do, you experience it, you got a good taste. And I say, okay, here's what I would like. I would like $5,000 a month, right, for doing what I'm doing right now, getting you the leads. And if you want me to close them for you after you do the appointment, you do the walkthrough, right? I go and I close them. Then I get either a percent of the contract, which would be more beneficial to me, right? Or we could agree on the price. So let's say, on every deal that you close, everything that you get a contract in, I get $1,000. That's just a hypothetical. So it could either be a percent of the contract, or it could be a fixed price for a contract. And I will leave that up to you. Now, the thing about the contract, where I take the risk, is you closing it, you're getting the contract, and I may not get paid, right? I don't think you'll do that, but that's the risk that I take, right? Does that make sense? So we both take risks. So it could be either a percent of the back end in addition to the upfront, or it could just be a price on every contract. But I want to earn that. And that's what I did with my clients. Does that make sense?
Anyone right now?
I own my
So,
own business. I have my own business.
I'm saying, are you working with any roofing or?
No, I just started calling roofing contract because I was setting up my system. I have a real estate company I just signed on in Las Cruces. I have a real estate local company here. I had a janitorial company here for about a year and they went off on their own because I said there's no more I could do for you. I have a janitorial company, management company that's out of Tennessee. So I have about 4 or 5 clients, and the reason why I only take 4 or 5 clients because I know the work it takes to do that. But I'm expanding in the next 3 months. I'm hiring 4 more salespeople. I have an office downtown and I have an office in Montana on Montana Avenue. So, I train people. I got a YouTube channel, a podcast. So I close deals. I don't know what else to say other than this is what I do every day. And, I definitely can help you. And also for roofing contracts, the way I would get your roofing contract is I have a couple banks that I'm signing on this week that I've been dealing with for over a year here in El Paso, where they're going to start giving me REOs, real estate owned properties. A lot of them are commercial. So I'm going to be able to get access to commercial deals that may need roofing, right? Which will help you because now you're dealing with the bank and the customer. So there are ways to get leads. I know how to get leads. That's what I do every day. Good. Well, here's the thing: is I'm not. I, well, right. Well, that could be down the road. And here's the reason why I don't work on commission is because I'm at a percent at a level right now where time is very important. It takes time to do the work that I do to get the leads that you need. Because if you have to pay for leads, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg and a tooth, right? Because I don't advertise, I don't do any of that because to me right now that's not smart money. So I try to help clients avoid that, right? Like Google ads and things like that. I've done that. But for me, I'm looking at, well, I know how to get access to the owners. Why would I pay anybody to do that, right? So now all I'm doing is taking my time to do that. So I have to get paid for my time and the work that I have to do because what I would do is I would commit a certain amount of hours a day to make sure I get you leads. So let's say you were to hire me, I would commit at least 3 days a week 4 hours a day those 3 days. So that's 12 hours a week that I'm on the phone. I have people on the phone calling just specifically for you. And that's time, right? And I have to pay people. So that's the reason why I get paid up front to do my job. And that's why usually I do 90 days. But in a situation like roofing and things like that, that's very risky. I usually do 30 days. I know I'm going to get them a deal. And then after 30 days, you could say, Paul, you know what? All right, let's do 3 months or let's do 4 months. Then I earn more of your business. Now you know that it works. And then after that, we could say, you know what? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll charge you less upfront, but I want a percent of the deal. Or I just want a price on every contract. So I'll leave that up to you. But in initial stages, I will be using a lot of time and energy and effort to make sure I get you what you want. And I can get it. I'm not worried about that. It's just a matter of you closing the deal. So if I bring you 5 qualified leads that are ready to buy, right? And you don't close any of them, that's not my fault, right? I did my job. But if you don't close them, that doesn't mean I can't go back for you and say, you know what? Let's try this, let's try that. And we could still try to get something. Does that make sense?
Would we be to like test maybe to because it's hard to like I said, I get calls from lead companies, but
Right. No, I get that. Right. Right. I know. And let me address that. I'm not a lead company. I'm a sales company. Okay. Paul Cruz Sales Agency where sales happen. I mention leads because see, people miss this is what I mean about lead brokers. They could sell you thousands of names, but 90% of them are crap, right? Because they're not targeted. They're just giving you names and numbers because they want to say, if I get you more, it looks better. That's not true. That's why I'm not a lead broker. I target. That's why I ask you these questions. Tell me what you like. This is the hand. You're giving me your hand. I got to get you the glove to fit your hand. Because as a business owner, if I'm just calling everybody for my services, I'm doing a disservice because now I don't even know these people qualify, but I know how to deal with roofing contractors, general contractors, real estate people. I have specific niches that I'm really good at, and I focus on that. So I target that. So when you tell me, you're looking at 4 or 5 bids a month, for commercial, you're averaging 10 to 15,000. For solar, 60,000. Now I have information that I could target for you. So when you go there, you're not going there to do a dog and pony show. You're going there to get a deal. And for me, that's where I'm valuable because hey, you know what? Paul's got me some great appointments. Like, I like this guy. That's the way I work because that's how I do for my own business. So I'm not a lead broker. I'm a sales company. I do sales coaching, sales training. I offer estate planning. I set up LLC. But my main premise is sales. I produce sales. I close deals. And I know what my time is worth, and it's worth more than any lead broker you could ever pay because I'm not giving you leads. I'm going to produce prospects that will convert into a customer. And that's what I focus on. Like you're a prospect, right? We're talking. I'm trying to give you value, show you value, offer you value, and hopefully I can earn your business and your relationship because I targeted you. It's not like I didn't call you or I didn't look a background. I know I could help you, and that's why I'm very persistent. I called you like 3 or 4 times. You know what I mean? Nah,
Situations.
that's fine.
Sometimes we go things to
Right,
really bad
right,
because of yeah, I mean just what I've been reading. So it was
right.
just
I understand. I understand.
like a
Right,
couple of
right,
calls.
right. Well, let me ask you this: do you like the idea?
I mean, I do. One of the things is that our sales for solar companies.
Yep.
It's, it's 50% of the same.
Right. I get it. Right.
So on average, I would pay. Let's just say, if I make 5,000, I would give them 2,000.
Right. I get
So,
right.
so
So
I don't really, and that's on average. That's usually
right.
what it gets
Well,
paid. So any salesperson
right.
giving them up to 20%.
Right. Right. I got it. I know how. I know there's a few solar companies that recruit. They wanted to recruit me to sell for them. I said no. I have too much on my plate. But even putting solar aside, it could be a combination of just getting roofing contract. What I'm saying is, whatever you say you want, I could get that for you. So if you just want me to get roofing contract, so let's say you hire me, right, and you pay me X amount of dollar, then you don't want to pay for me getting your appointment, then you're going to pay 40%. You're paying for it, right? So I get that. So what I could do instead of trying to get you solar deals, I could just focus on getting you roofing contracts. So that way, if you're investing in that, then you want to keep the full money. You don't want to pay somebody a commission based on the work you did. Does that make sense? So if you're paying me to get you qualified appointments for solar, and then when you close it, not only you paying me, but you're paying the other agent, that doesn't make sense for you. Does that make sense? But but at the same time, let's say I get your roofing contract, right? You may sell them a solar panel right then and there. So you got two for one. Does that make sense?
Here and there,
Right. Right.
um,
Right. Because if somebody needs a roof, right, I would constantly listen. Have you considered if your roof is going to be remodeled or there's going to be work to it, have you considered getting solar at the same time? Then I could get that in the notes. I could say, hey, they're interested in the solar. So you'll be able to go there for two things for one time. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So that's something that I could focus on, but I understand that you giving away, well, you're paying 40% for them to close the deal for you. Meanwhile, you're paying me. So now if your company was paying for it to hire me, then that's different, right? Because then I could train the salespeople. But in this case, I would just focus on getting you roofing contracts where some of it may even lead into getting solar panels. So at the same time, for the one price, you're getting both. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
that's one of my things is
Right.
based on
Right, right. So does the idea make sense? Do you understand what I'm trying to offer? Okay.
I
Do,
get everything.
well,
I just
well,
um,
one last question. Do you understand the value and what I'm offering that could actually solve some of your sales problems? Because I could solve that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. The
Okay.
only thing is, I would like to try it first, and
Well,
then,
yeah, I know, and here's what I would do that, but I know the time is gonna take for me to do that, and it's not fair that my people are working hard and I'm working hard, I'm not paying them, because at the end is, I don't like giving away things because I know the value I have. If I was to do that, I'll be devaluing what value I'm offering you. And it may not be I don't know if you have the money or you can afford, I could work out a better price for you, or maybe we could work something out. Does that make sense? I'm willing to do that, but at the end of the day is, they say time is money. Time is not money to me. Time is value. Because if I'm spending time with someone and I'm not increasing my value or I'm not showing my value, then not only am I not valuable, but I'm not making any money as well. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean,
So it
see, it's,
of course, of course, absolutely, absolutely. No, I get that and I respect that because I'm a customer just like you, and at the end of the day, I'm sure you've made decisions in your business all the time to try to grow your business. You might have hired somebody, an employee that they terrible, you had to fire them and you had to pay employment taxes, you had to do all that. So I get that, you know, and you don't know me. I'm just a guy on the phone, right? That makes sense. We don't have a relationship. I've never met you. I've never done anything with you. So we don't have a track record, but that's what I'm trying to do. At the end, every customer I bring on is always my first customer. That's how I see it because I'm a customer too. I had 7 Zoom calls yesterday with digital marketing company because I'm going to start being more aggressive with it. 7 of them, right? They had to earn my business, right? So at the end, the one I choose, I'm going to pay them. Now, do I believe they're going to deliver? I have to believe that, because I call them, right? So I'm asking for one shot at your business, and then after 30 days, when you see what I could do, then we could talk about, moving forward with, a longer term situation. I'm willing to earn your whole business. You know what I mean? What I could do is this, okay? We can start out with this. We can start off at half the cost. I don't usually do this, and this is not a sales pitch. I could offer you start up for 1750, right? Then after the 30 days, when you get your leads, right? And let's say you get 5 appointments, whether you close it or you don't, right? Whether if you know all these leads are qualified and you gave it everything you have and you just didn't close them because of timing and they need to be worked on, then after that you pay me the difference. And then when you see what I do, if you want to continue, we can continue and get a deal that works for both of us. Are you open to something like that?
yeah, I think so. I mean,
Okay.
again, I'm just like, you know, spend money on something that I'm really, I mean, it's not that I don't trust you or
Of course. No, of course.
I mean, I've been in this room
Of
before,
course. Of course. Yes.
is is really show you there's, and I understand with time and it's
Yeah.
something that
Right. Right.
you said that that's gone. But in order for the trends, like those guys will show me first.
Well, here's the thing is,
If they do give you what
right. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. So let me reverse this to you, okay? I agree with you. Not so. Let's flip it this way. So now I could do all the work that I could do to get you that, and you still may not pay me, right? Because that's the risk I take as well. You see what I'm saying? So it works both ways. Again, I'm a business owner and I'm a salesperson, and I get people soliciting me. So I understand your position. I felt the same way, but what I found out is this: when you have real value and you can see the value and you understand, like you said, you do, and you see what I could do, then sometimes you gotta take a leap of faith because I have to take a leap of faith as well. You could give me your credit card, right? I could go through my PayPal. 2 weeks later, you could do a chargeback. Now I'm screwed, right? That's the reality.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay, so
something that
right, I'm not saying you're doing that. I experienced that. So all I'm saying is, if I didn't think I could do what I could do, believe me, I would not be spending time calling you 3 or 4 times because I want to earn your business. You know.
right. No,
So,
I understand.
so why don't we do this? Right. I know. So here's what I like to do. What I would like to do is maybe set up another follow-up call. Right. I'll get your email. I'll email you some of my social media sites. You can look at my YouTube channel so you can see how I talk to people on the phone, how I train my clients. I want you to see what I do, and then maybe we could do a second call, a Zoom call, where we could
Sure.
see each other video, right? And then that way, when you see me face to face, you look at my social media, you get a little more familiar with me, and then maybe we could start business that way, and that way at least you get a little bit more comfortable. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I could be.
Oh,
We could partner to
yeah, yeah.
this.
And we could do this later if you like. I could set up a time, do a Zoom call with you and your partner. That way you get to see me. We get to talk about. I could show you my site and show you what I do, and then that way we'll earn each other's trust. Because earning trust is everything, right? Because if you don't have trust, you don't have nothing. I could be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but if we don't trust each other, and I have to earn that, then we got nothing. Because without trust, you have nothing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, that's why I like the Google ads the way they do it because there's actual real clients.
Oh
There's
yeah, 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 of course. I'm
businesses.
not at Google, so no, I know, I get it. But no, I get it. I get it, and I respect that. And like I said, Google ads are good if you know how to use them. I've done that before. I personally don't like them. You know why? Because I like to be engaged. I like what I do right now, calling you, talking with people. Because the most valuable thing I can offer any prospect is Paul Cruz. Because at the end, if you don't buy into me, no matter what I have, you're not going to buy it anyway, right?
Yeah, no, it's,
you know.
yeah,
So what's your email, Roberto?
it's you can let's see, use the CARBA
Hold on. RCRBA. Okay.
at Gmail.
Hold on. Okay. RCRBA. Right.
CAR
CAR. Okay.
and then BA03.
Okay. At Gmail.
Yeah, Gmail.
Okay. All right. So, would you like to set up a time for later so I could send you a Zoom?
Yeah, let me call my partner, see if he wants to do it, because I got a meeting right now. We have an inspection we're going to get up.
Okay.
It's the adjuster, but
Okay.
I'll see him there, and then
You want to call me back and let me know? You want to call me back?
is this your
Yeah, this is my direct number. Just call me at this number.
okay? So let me talk to him, and we'll. I mean, we're interested. Like I said, it's just
Yeah, no, I get it. Listen, uh, right, right. When we do the Zoom call, I'll go a little bit over detail what the process would be like so that you're familiar with it. And I think once you see how I do, it's going to make more sense. So, you know what? I get that. You know what I mean? So again, I just want to earn your business. I'm looking for a long-term relationship. And there's a lot of opportunities right now. That's the reason why I'm calling because I'm getting access to a lot of potential opportunity, but I need to make sure I have somebody that could take advantage of that. So that's why I'm making these calls as well. Does that make sense?
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All
I
right.
mean, there's a lot of money and business in here, so
Yeah, it's just a matter of who's going to target and grab it. That's what I do.
it's just
Yeah, I learned that. I'm from New York, and I tell you, boy, they'll talk you to death, but they won't write no check. I'll tell you.
yeah, something about
Yeah, yep, yep. But that's
let me
okay.
get
Fair enough.
get it here.
Okay, okay, fair enough. I'll email you. Okay. I appreciate your time. I look forward to speaking with you again. Talk to you later. Okay. All right. You're welcome. Have a good day. Bye. All right, guys. That was a cold call. Okay. Never met the guy. I spoke with him once before last week, but he was trying to brush me off, and I'm very persistent. And you see what I went through? I went through the opening, the body, the clothes. Now we're gonna have a backup meeting today with his partner, which is all I need. Once he sees what I'm going to do for him and he's going to see me physically, then I'm going to get that deal. But that's how you cold call. You have to be excited. You have to ask certain questions. Everything that I preach, I did on that one call. Anyway, guys, hope that was helpful. Talk to you later. Have a good day.